We are Cactus Wrestling. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos.
What's up, everybody? It's another Cactus Wrestling video. We are recapping Iowa versus Iowa State, the Cy-Hawk duel. And I gotta tell you, I looked back at our preview video, and we only got 6 matches correct. Shows how much we know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, things went a little differently than most people, I think, would have expected.
Hey, you guys are known Iowa haters. I was the only one rooting for the Hawkeyes, and they pulled it out.
Despite being ranked higher, I feel like they were the underdogs in this duel.
For sure.
No, they were. I think they were.
And they didn't even out wrestle. Like most matches, I would say the Iowa State guy wrestled better.
You know what it was? And this might be a hot take, but honestly, I thought that Brands outcoached Dresser because he had that switch with Gabe Arnold. We were just talking about that. Gabe Arnold bumping up as of yesterday.
Yeah, no, in the post-match interview when Gabe Arnold was like, yeah, he came up to me yesterday. That was like, so he clearly was close to 174 a day ago. Like, unreal.
Yeah, so with him bumping up and putting in Patrick Kennedy, and Dresser, I think, just blew a couple of calls with like not throwing in the challenge brick on the Ekamandia Real Woods match. And
there's nothing to lose there except for the challenge. Like
even Chikam versus Franic, why not? Go for it.
Yeah, what were they waiting to use these challenge bricks for? Like, besides those two opportunities, there was no other opportunity where it was like, probably should have challenged that. Like, you had two opportunities and you didn't use either one.
And then the last one was MJ Guyton, where they told him to ride him out to try and get a last minute turn. Like
he just
said, like, we should have won that match. It was like he kind of blamed himself, I think, when they interviewed him quickly. He was like, we should have won that match. We should have won that one. It made no sense after like Kennedy was on his deathbed pretty much, sucking wind, that Guyton couldn't just let him up and take him down one more time.
Yeah, the out coaching is a good way of putting it, because those were like mistakes that there's no way that if it was the reverse calls that Brands was holding on to those bricks. There's zero chance that the brick, he would have chucked it at the ref's head. Like, he would have made sure that the challenge was in if those were like potentially in favor of Iowa. Every call that was like on the fence went in Iowa's favor, despite Iowa State being the host.
I just remember Brands like thinking that he would never hold a challenge brick. I mean, he threw a shoe, I think, one year. I don't know if you guys remember, like, and another thing they called like Iowa shoe gate. He like takes off his shoe mid match and he's like going like this, and they're like, "What is he talking about?"
I'm gonna challenge.
I don't know if you guys remember that. That was like a DeSanto match that I specifically remember him taking his shoe, like rocking it back and forth, and everyone's like, "What is going on in the Iowa corner?"
Well, even Jordan Burroughs in the commentary was saying how calm and collected Brands was this match for his standards, at least.
Yeah.
Which I think was good leadership. Like, he must have known, like, going in that they were going to have a dogfight, and having Brands not be the erratic Brands that he is and just calm allowed his wrestlers potentially to follow suit. So we'll dive in weight by weight, starting at 125. If you watched our preview video, we as a Cactus Collective, we're not unanimous on every weight. However, we came 2 out of 3 decision that Kaisen Tirakina would beat Drake Ayala. That was our first X on.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
I think it wasn't the same Tirakina that wrestled Eric Barnett. He looked stiff. He looked like he was on his heels. He was very passive. He was letting Ayala bring the action to him. He was never really in a scoring opportunity the entire match.
Yeah, I mean, all of his attacks that he did have were like half committed, and I mean, it probably could have ended a closer score because the last takedown was scared. He wasn't really making an effort to really penetrate and get in on his attacks.
I think we even mentioned this. Tarakina is kind of an up and down wrestler, and I think I said something like, "Oh, he might be in an upswing, and that's why he beat Barnett." But I just think he knows how to beat Eric Barnett because this is the second time it's happened.
Yeah,
That's what I was saying too. It could have just
they
been
might just have a really good matchup.
But Drake Ayala bounced back in a huge way for Iowa at the perfect time. Um, One thing, even just watching him compared to some of the other like more veteran Iowa wrestlers, he was actively trying to score points. It seemed. Well, some of the other guys were a little bit defensive and like, okay, I'll try to coast on this lead. Um, but yeah, friggin' Tarakina was up 1-0 after the quick escape, and that's the only time he ever led. But after that, it was just Ayala on him like a dog.
Well, and even in the first period, Ayala was getting in on shots,
Yeah.
and he was just like kick away,
Yep, he kicked away a lot.
turn and kick away, and like run away, and like it was effective sort of the first time because he didn't give up the takedown, but like turning away like that, it's really not that hard to get lasso up the other leg and get the takedown. So like there was another Iowa State guy in a later match that did the same thing. I think it was Broderson, and it was just like, you're just gonna give it? Like, where's the where? Why are you gonna make any effort? Like, you gonna have him earn it at least? No. Why would you do that?
And with that being the first match, it was such an important tone setter for the rest of the duel. Like if Iowa State at home won that first match, that does wonders just for morale going in and being like, yeah, we stuck it to them in this first match.
Not only that, stick it to them in
win
the
the
first
duel.
match, they win the duel.
It'd be 17 to 15. They would win the
Yeah,
duel.
they win 17-15 had that happen.
Yeah.
I
So-
hope we continue to see this version of Drake Ayala, though. I'd like to see him.
Yeah, I think he probably just blew it against Kaler.
Yeah, he was coming up pretty
Yeah.
well, and
He did in the last 10 seconds. He
Yeah.
blew it.
Some of these Iowa guys definitely look like their conditioning's not there, but he looked like he was actually steadily improving compared to where he was in the beginning of the season so far.
Yeah.
So 133. The Cactus Collective had pretty Tesky over Evan Frost. Although Mike right here, this Mike.
Oh, this
Wait.
Mike.
Oh,
is it me?
Oh, I'm seeing.
Yeah, he's talking about you because I was like, I didn't pick Tesky, but on my
I'm
screen
seeing double. I think I'm seeing double.
Yeah.
Anyway,
did I pick Tesky?
This Mike on my camera. You're Mike M right here.
You're saying me?
Yes.
I have the opposite of mine.
Who did I pick?
You picked Frost.
I picked Tesky.
We picked Tesky.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. I was like, I thought I picked Frost.
I picked.
You did.
Yeah, Tesky.
You did, and you were the only one that was right.
Yeah, I picked Frost because, like, hey, he beat Red. Wait, no, was he the one that beat Redding out? Yeah, he beat Redding out in the wrestle off. Like, he's been really, honestly, watching him wrestle. He got after it. Like, I mean, he pretty much broke Tesky, and Tesky looked like solid, like savvy guy who's been around for most of that match. They got in some interesting scrambles. But Frost was the one creating most of the movement. He was creating a lot of separation. And I memean, ultimately he ended up even tilting Tesky. So like, I think he just wore him down and he out wrestled them. Like watching that, I was just like, Iowa State looks so much better than Iowa. Like so much better. Like the first match, it was like, so much like the 125. It was so, but then Iowa State looked so much better this match. And Iowa State looked better in many of the matches following.
Well, this match kind of gave me Ryan Crookham versus Vito vibes, where Frost was just impossible to score on. He went into that wizard position, and he just weathered the storm until he created his opportunity. He got one takedown. He got his forward near fall, and that's all.
Using that stingy defense with attacking the grip.
Yep.
Get the leg free. That was pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, I think Tesky looked good. He was getting in on a lot of shots, but Frost, man, he's freshman. He's tough to score on. I mean, 33 is going to be interesting between him and Crookham as freshmen for the next couple of years. Lots of talent coming up at that weight.
Yeah. Yeah. You think they're gonna you think Frost might have any chance against Crookham or Vito?
Not yet.
Maybe.
I don't know. I feel like I had a
Tesky
lot
was
of
ranked like 8th.
well, that's what I was about to say. Is like I feel like I was like, oh, really hyping up Tesky, but he kind of looked like crap. He,
Yeah.
he
Yeah, but he
gassed
hit
out
on
really.
so many shots though.
Yeah, but that's finishing is really what matters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah. I mean,
mean,
he
he
got in
also
he wasted all this effort to not get any points, and then he broke and got taken down and turned.
that's
Like,
what I was gonna say is he looked like he got gassed out, and when you're a seasoned wrestler like Tesky, getting gassed out is not ideal. It's actually funny, similarly enough, he was in the same position with RBY in their match. It was tight, 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 and then he just hit a wall and got worked. Same thing, tight, tight match against Frost, hits the wall, gives
done.
up backs, gives up the takedown, almost gets majored.
Yeah. Would have been helpful for Iowa State to have that point, but
Where's Flo gonna have Evan Frost ranked number 3?
They'll probably put it number 1 just because it'll be amazing.
I'm not saying that because I'd say they probably just flip flop Tesky.
They put him at 8.
Yeah, they'll put him in at 8.
Well, Evan Frost is very impressive. So we were wrong in the first 2. How
But
about 141 Real Woods? We said, oh yeah.
I would say we did have the score right, 3-3, but we were wrong about the matches.
Oh yeah, those two were a wash. They flip flopped on us.
Yeah.
We had it as a collective. We had it backwards, but
we did say Real Woods was going to win by bonus against Anthony Ekman.
Yeah, this was not a good match for him at
And
all.
this was an amazing match for Caliendo.
well, I would say that Real Woods wrestled bad, but he didn't really wrestle. He didn't really do anything.
He didn't do anything. He just held good position the entire match. Didn't really actively try to score all that frequently. Ekman was the one that kept on pushing. He even got, I think, he got a stall warning against Real Woods.
But that stall warning was complete bogus, and you can't tell me otherwise. He hopped up backwards 2 steps, stall immediately. And it's not even like Ekman went after him and shot after him. He just bounced back twice and then immediate stall. And then he got an actual stall warning, which rewarded in the point to take it to overtime. But that first one,
I think if the ref gave that call, they probably saw something earlier where they were like, "Oh, I should have called stalling there," and they made up for it with that.
I don't know, hometown ref maybe.
Zero chance it's a hometown ref. None of the calls went to Iowa State. There's no way.
Did?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna give them a freaking stall warning.
That one was 100% in their favor. How is that stalling? He didn't do anything. He hopped backwards twice.
Also, Ekman was the aggressor the entire time. Real Woods' first shot, legit shot, was in overtime.
Yeah, and I think the post-match interview said it all. He was like, I gave him too much respect. And I think knowing how easy he took him down, he's like, oh, I should have just done that from the beginning.
I was not surprised to see Echemendia take neutral in the third because, like we talked about, his bottom game is not great, and I think if he did go down, he probably would have been giving up a lot of points. Smart choice by him to rest to his strengths. This begs the question, though, is Real Woods
Island, and then now both of them are getting taken overtime by these guys that are not even All-Americans.
Personally, Bo would probably just beat Echemendia by more.
Oh, yeah. Just like we said that Woods would bonus Ekman.
Yeah,
Well,
but
Bo would just take him down earlier.
We saw Swerski have a close match with Woods last year, and Woods still made the NCAA finals almost.
I'm not saying Woods ain't going to make the finals per se, but I mean, why is he having such a hard time with Echemendia? I mean, Echemendia looked strong.
He's
he
huge.
was in control of the match, and arguably he won the match if you look at that takedown that didn't get called, that also the coaches didn't challenge.
You should have challenged it. Even if you didn't think you were going to win the call, it would give your guy time to recover. I mean, Echemendia is not known for his gas tank. He's cutting down a lot. He's a massive 141. Give a call. Give your guy a little break. Let him catch his breath. Let him calm his nerves. Focus up. Worst that can happen is you're in the same position for overtime. I was very surprised. Just like you said, Jack, outcoached. Most coaches would probably make that challenge and say, hey, we have nothing to lose with it. I know Brands would have.
Yeah, no, for sure. No doubt. And I also give Echemendia a lot of credit for cutting down. I saw Kevin Dresser's pre-match interview saying that it was actually it was Echemendia's idea to drop down because he was like, we need Swiderski in the lineup. I'm gonna go down, and apparently he was only like weighing out of practice at 145, 146 most of the time. So it was a logical choice to drop and wait for the team. But
That's true. I mean, like you said, he's massive.
yeah.
Do you guys see him as an All-American threat, or do you think he just had like a really good match and guys will figure him out?
I don't know if he has the offense. I mean, he's
strong.
Cuba, right? Like he's
Yeah.
definitely strongest in the neutral position.
He had that body lock and arguably took down Real Woods, who did he even give up a takedown to anyone last year?
Well, he gave up
I think he
in the
gave one
NCAA
to
finals,
Swiderski, didn't he?
right?
No, that was a
No, that was a
reversal.
reversal, right?
Yeah, I don't
Did
think
he?
he gave up a takedown like all last season.
I thought he got taken down by Swiderski last year.
Oh, did he?
I don't know.
He may have.
But I mean, if you can get a takedown or in quotes on Real Woods, I feel like you're going to be able to get it on anybody.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see once we see a little bit more of him. I mean, he wrestled a great match.
He could be a threat. Yeah, I mean, definitely, especially after that match. If this is the way he's going to keep on wrestling,
41's pretty open too. Like, I mean, I know Mike had originally said that two guys were on an island, but to Mike's other point, like they've both been taken to overtime. So
yeah, that island is basically like a continent, and everybody's on.
It's like the Florida Keys, where like there's a
Yeah.
a really long bridge to get there.
Yeah, no, it's like Australia. It's just really big.
So going up to 49, we did have Swiderski over Vinovich, and
Yeah, rightfully
I mean,
so.
I wasn't. I think I was more like just kind of messing around with Vinovich. I didn't actually like fully anticipate him winning, but man, he's just not it for Iowa.
He looked like doo-doo. Like he looked so bad. Like this was another instance where I was like, Iowa State is looking so much better than Iowa. Like Swiderski's in on attack, in and on attack, in and on attack. I mean, I can't believe how many matches Iowa got called for stalling, at very least a warning.
I just think Anthony Ferrari's somewhere going like, "Oh yeah, my time is coming," because he knows darn well Victor Voinovich is not holding down this spot. Should have stayed in Stillwater, bud.
No, he
Yeah, he should
got
have.
out wrestled by Swiderski. Swiderski's looking good. I think Swiderski could definitely be All-American this year at 49.
Yeah, he looked great. Like he didn't even seem like he was tired, despite doing twice as much as Voinovich.
That quick takedown in the first like 30 seconds really set the tone. And just like Mike was saying, I'm like, oh man, these Iowa State guys are looking good. You had Frost have the big win. You had, unranked Echemendia take, Real Woods into overtime. You have Swiderski that's just getting right after it. I'm like, man, all this momentum in Iowa State's favor. There's no way they could lose this duel.
Yeah. Well,
Womp womp.
womp womp. Yeah, that was disappointing.
Yeah, Iowa's got to figure something out. I wouldn't be surprised to see Ferrari in the lineup in January.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
he just doesn't do anything, and Swiderski looked good. So
yeah, Vinovich literally made like no effort to get. It's like, oh, you're losing, you got to go. Never went. Like,
no,
made no effort to take him down.
no.
Okay.
And Swiderski just shot after shot.
Yeah,
He's got a high motor. Like I said last year, I think he was cutting too much at 41.
Yeah.
He's a really talented wrestler. And I think that he was I think he was 15-13 last season.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how I remember that. But I think he was just not used to that big of a cut to be 41. And now he's like 49 and let himself grow a little bit. He can use that gas tank that he has and just really push guys. I mean, Voinovich was an All-American, I believe. Or was he round of 12?
right at 12.
Round 12.
Yeah. Okay.
So 57 was one of the marquee matchups where both of you guys had Cody Chittum beating Jared Franic. I said Franic was going to win.
Yeah, well, yeah, you were like the storied guy. We can't go with the untested freshman.
He did look good, though, Cody Chittum.
He looked solid. I mean, the takedown he gave up, I was a little like disappointed in. It was a nice low single by Franic that he got. I mean, Chittum immediately got away, which was good. And then I mean he arguably won the match at the end of the.
Yeah, I mean, Frank's got to wrestle through that position. Like, I don't know how he can just let that be a go behind with no time left. And I think we were texting about it. Like, was that the right call? I think it's like in baseball where they challenge something, whatever the ref called it as in live would have stood. Like, if they had called that a 3 takedown and then they reviewed that, I think it would have stayed.
Yeah, they wouldn't have overturned it if it
Right.
was called the takedown, but since it wasn't, they weren't overturning it either.
I mean, they would have needed like a clock with 0.00 left to fully see if it was the right call or not. But hey, it is what it is. I mean, it's impressive in its own right to see a freshman take an All-American like that to his breaking point.
Do you guys think this match happens, in March at Nationals? Are you picking the same guys? Are you picking
Oh, I'm
Chittum?
still picking Chittum. Yeah,
I'm picking Chittum in the rematch for sure. After watching this,
100%.
I just think that he's gonna make those adjustments. And Franic,
I don't think Franic's going to get any better than he currently is, and I think Chittum will.
he's a 6th-year guy. I just think that he's reached his peak. I think that he's not going to be able to make the adjustments.
What
I think
adjustments? He out wrestled him.
except for the last 30 seconds where he didn't.
It was less 3 seconds.
I mean, it was a 1 takedown match, and if Chittum doesn't give up the takedown, then it's a tie match.
How long was the stall warning? How much time was left for the stall warning?
Oh, I don't remember.
That's what I'm saying. Like that was like 30 seconds left, and he kept after it.
But yeah, no,
he needed a takedown.
That's the third.
He could have gave up
5 matches where Iowa was called for stalling.
I don't know. I think that you're going to see Chittum make moves, and I said this when we did a video a long time ago. I thought he was a threat for a national title.
Man,
he's definitely right there. This is still early in the season. Like come March, night and day.
I think 157 is deeper than people realize, deeper than I thought. I think Chittum's going to be in the mix. I really do. I think him, Meyer Shapiro, and Levi Haynes are going to be a really interesting 3-way.
Yeah,
because they won't see each other at none of them. They're not in Big Tens together. They're not in Big 12s together. It's EIWA, Big 12, and Big 10. They're not going to see each other really until nationals when it matters the most.
Well, we could see him at Vegas.
There's no way.
Chittum and Shapiro.
Iowa State's going to Vegas.
Yeah, they do, but Iowa State pulled a lot of their big guys last year. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, until you see the registered list of registered wrestlers.
Yeah, but Chittum, a freshman, he needs to be battle tested a little bit more, I think.
Stay tuned for our CKLV preview, by the way.
Yes.
I just can't believe the Jared Franic disrespect. I'm shocked. You say it's a 3-way race, and you're not even including the guy.
It's a 4-way race with Franic in there.
Franic will make the semis, but he's going to lose to one of the 2 freshmen.
Man, the Iowa heat is. Help me out in the comments below. Like I thought, Franic looked
good. Franic wrestled really well.
He was solid. No, I just think that
he did wrestle better than Chittum, but I also think Chittum has more upside. And if Chittum gets any better by March, Franic's not going to be able to respond to that. Because what in Franic's mind, what adjustments does he think he needs to make? Oh, keep moving when I'm near the out of bounds line if the guy's trying to spin behind me.
I agree. I mean, Franic, like I said, he's a 6th-year senior. Iowa traditionally hasn't been very lucky with those guys. Chittum, while he lost the match, it was very close. You wouldn't expect a true freshman that's unranked to have a 4-2 match with the 3-point takedown. If it was just a regular takedown, it would have been 3-2 with the number 2 guy who's returning, 4th.
Also, is Iowa really known for developing guys, especially
this
their
late
transfers?
Yeah.
Like, are they known for developing their transfers and their transfers doing better after coming to them?
I don't know. Real Woods did pretty good last year.
Yeah, okay. Real Woods was also great.
3rd to 2nd or 4th to 2nd, so it's not really like they really developed that. Like,
But did he do better? Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
I think he would have done the same had he been anywhere. I don't think it was Iowa that was the difference maker with that.
All
Would
right.
you say Jaden Ironman did better because he went to Iowa?
No, definitely not.
Like,
I'm picking Chittum this time around. Franic, solid match for him. I just want to see him probably continue to wrestle through the whole period. That's it. If you're an Iowa fan, that's probably what you want to. He
I
can
mean,
win
even the
these type.
brands would want that.
Yeah, I mean, Franic is kind of like the old, Carter Starachi in that sense, where he kind of wins these tighter matches. Isn't a huge point scorer necessarily. Carter now is obviously like just beating the hell out of dudes.
Well, that was only once. We got to see if he continues that trend.
Yeah, well,
We don't know if that was just a chip on his shoulder against Mackay or not, but
it's like, would you rather have a guy that has a 99% win percentage but has like a 0% bonus percentage, or would you rather have a guy that has 100% bonus and 75% win? It's like, well, you're taking the first guy, and that's Franic. But as we see at NCAA's, these kind of close matches can come back and bite you at the wrong time, and I think Chittum is kind of like chomping at the bit for that.
The same as with Vinovich. He's the
Yeah,
same.
well,
Close matches usually, and it ends up biting him. Except for this time, he got a little worse.
All right. Well, it's going to be interesting come March. 65, David Carr versus Mikey Caliendo. We said Carr was going to win by decision, and he
Carr
beat
outdid us.
him up. Ooh.
He blew it up.
I mean,
I kind of wish he teched him.
Yeah, I kind of wish he kept going.
That David Carr, like
that looks like a mean David Carr.
I think O'Toole's got to watch out if he gets that David Carr.
Yeah, through him to get that first takedown. He got him called for stalling. Like, he hit a single, he reattacked. Like, it wasn't the same thing several times. He just kept mixing it up, getting in and finishing and scoring. It was very impressive.
When you're a guy that can make an All-American look like you're on a different level, I mean, and that's what Carr did. It just looked like a varsity guy wrestling JV guy.
Yeah, which is insane because Caliendo took 7th last year.
Huge bounce back for David Carr after his last match with Hamidi, where he was just like super close. I think it was like, what was it, a 4-2 win?
2-0.
2-0. I don't know why I keep thinking
no takedown. So he's like, I need all the takedowns.
So, just completely different guy. And just like you guys were saying, if this version shows up to wrestle Keegan, it's going to be fireworks. I was super surprised he turned it on like that. I predicted a decision just like I think you guys did too. I think we all went David Carr, but teetering on that tech, that was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was also like, yo, we're home duel. Let's beat Iowa.
Yeah.
I'm
this is last Cyhawk duel.
Statement. Yeah, last Cyhawk duel. Let's end on a statement here. If he had another like 20 seconds, I think he would have gotten another takedown.
Probably, yeah.
It's a little concern. I mean, the way that you guys are talking about Franic, I kind of agree about Caliendo, but not about Franic. Like, Caliendo hasn't really looked good in Iowa yet. And that's my concern.
This is his first loss. It was still, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what are you going to do against David Carr? Like, he's in a different league, but still, it's like you would expect an All-American to kind of be a little competitive, like Dean Hamidi was. But
and Caliendo's beaten Shane Griffith like last season. He beat Shane Griffith, so like he's beaten a guy that was a national champ before.
Yeah,
and then David Carr to pick him apart like that is just unbelievable.
Yeah,
he should go to another D3 tournament. Really, test his mettle.
Yeah, go to the Luther Open again.
So I'm riding the David Carr high. I'm sure we're gonna preview him versus O'Toole when that matchup happens, but I mean this David Carr is looking good.
Yeah.
I said David Carr. I said that I think he's gonna win nationals. I just said like this is his last run. He talked about it. Has no freestyle focus. This whole offseason was folk style. I was worried I was gonna have to eat my words at first after he had that really close match with Hamidi, and I was like, oh man, he's really not looking as good as I thought he was gonna. and then he just opens it up against Caliendo. We'll see if it actually sticks. I hope they wrestle together at him and Keegan at the CKLV, but I kind of doubt it's going to happen if I'm being honest.
One or both of them will happen to not be there.
Yeah.
So 74, we previewed Gabe Arnold versus MJ Guyton, and this is where we briefly talked about it. Brands, hey, he was smart. He was like, Gabe Arnold, you impressed us. We need you to step up. You're going to bump up to 184. Pat Kennedy jumps in to wrestle MJ Guyton, and he looked really good for 2 periods. And really bad for 1 period.
Yeah.
12-4 after 2 periods.
Yeah, they were talking like, oh, and then he just hit the wall. And
you can do as much on the air bike and treadmill, but there's nothing that simulates it like wrestling.
It's not the same.
It showed. I mean, like he was so dominant for 5 minutes, and then 3rd period he hits that wall and Guyton opens it up, and I mean, what was it, a 1-point match or something?
13. It was like 14-13. I think it was.
I think it was 14-13. Yeah.
Yeah, but again, it came down to like
poor coaching.
Why would he not cut him there? Like, you had 15 seconds or 10 seconds to get one more.
Yeah, I think it was like 10 seconds. So if he had cut him, he would have had an opportunity. Instead, he tried for that turn, and he almost got the turn too. But that's harder to pull off. A broken guy like Kennedy, he would have probably given up the takedown, and that would have won them the duel.
Yeah.
Or if Guyton, had managed to have stingier defense in the first 2 periods, then he would have broke Kennedy and it wouldn't have mattered.
Well, I think it just goes to show you, once Patrick Kennedy gets back into wrestling shape.
He should be good.
Skill-wise, yeah, Kennedy was a whole tier above Guyton.
Yeah.
Do you think that they'll keep Kennedy at 74 or Gabe Arnold at 74?
You have to imagine after Gabe Arnold beating number 6 at 84 for the team, it's better to have Arnold at 84.
Sure, yeah.
Oh man, I am like desperate to see Gabe Arnold versus Carter Srirachi. At least for the Penn State duel, you have to make it happen. And I know Gabe Arnold's going to be in Brands' office and being like, "Give me a shot at him." Like, I got to get my crack, and then maybe that determines their decision.
Yeah, that could be. I mean.
Yeah, because for that it's just a duel.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Maybe it is better for the team for him being up that weight. But I remember in his post-match interview they were saying that Gabe Arnold, we know that your best weight for you is 174. How did you end up going up? And he was like, "Oh well, yesterday they sat me down. We're like, we need you to come up big."
That's a big, like, that's a big swing. Like, especially like you were saying, like he's probably getting down to like 178 to get down to 174, and then maybe you have a big meal last night and you're okay. But still, like mindset wise, like you're preparing for one guy and then you have an All-American.
Yeah,
the last minute. So it's like, but it just shows the confidence that Gabe Arnold has. He's a breath of fresh air in Iowa.
He's not your typical Iowa guy.
No.
Not at all.
This is kind of where the duel started to go off the rails for Iowa State.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, Dresser said it at 74. We should have won that last one. They didn't. By the way, we had Arnold beating Guyton, which I'm giving us credit for because Arnold did win a match. But Will Feldkamp, we had majoring. What was the guy's name?
Brennan Swafford, which
I think he would have done that for sure.
Which would have happened.
Yeah.
But instead, Gabe Arnold not bumped up, Swafford probably would have given up a major.
Yeah. Instead, Feldkamp wrestles Gabe Arnold, and that high crotch to that lift. I mean, if that was in Carver Hawkeye, the place would have exploded.
So instant celebrity.
Yeah, that was some power to be able to do that. But I mean, Feldkamp, he lives and dies by his big move throws and stuff. That's all. It was like, oh, you're down by a point. Let's get double overs. Why?
Hey, it's the second period. You got to go for that throw,
Like, come on, guy. Like, you gotta have a solid shot in that scenario. Gabe Arnold's not gonna be like, oh, you want double overs? Yeah, let's go double overs and we'll see what's going on. Like, he held such good position and never really gave Feldkamp the opportunity to take the match from him.
No, that's what impressed me about Gabe Arnold. Was his ability to hold position so well, but it always makes me nervous about those guys who wrestle so close, where it's literally a 1 point, well, one move match.
I don't even know if that's Gabe Arnold's way of wrestling. He's only wrestled what, 2 All-Americans and then the Luther Open. So
Yeah, I mean he's looked good though, man. Guy is strong. I mean, to be able to lift a guy like that at a higher weight than your
yeah,
your natural weight or preferred weight. I mean, man. I mean, how do you guys think that Arnold would do at 184 if that's his calling this year?
I'd like to see him wrestle another, Iowa area guy, maybe, a Parker Keckeisen of sorts. I think that they match up well. I mean, he's a really strong, athletic guy that gets after his shots, seemingly. That's what Parker looks like as well. I could definitely see him All-American. I'm not sure if he would win a national title. I feel like it's kind of early to say, but he has beaten, 2 All-Americans, so maybe not too early yet.
Does he do better at 84 or 74?
This season?
Yeah.
74, I think.
probably, yeah. Because that means he's going to be he's going to be bigger and stronger at 174 than at 84 comparatively.
Do you guys think that Carter's not taking his 5th-year option because he's afraid to lose to a second-year Gabe Arnold?
Whoa, I mean, that's a bold take.
He was afraid of a freshman a year ago, calling
He
him out.
responded to him. I mean, that if you're like as good as Carter is, like you'll be like, this guy's like, why would I talk to this guy? He responded to it, and now he's like, yeah, I'm not taking my 5th year. And all we've seen is Gabe Arnold just dominate these dudes.
What did Carter respond?
When Gabe was like, oh, I want to wrestle Carter.
Yeah, what
blah,
did he
blah.
say?
He was like, I don't concern myself with like people of that. He's like, get to college first, buddy.
Oh, and now he's in college.
The match has to happen. It's gotta happen.
It's gonna. I mean, they might let it happen for the duel, but I don't think. I think Big Ten's he's going 184.
Unless he beats Carter in the duel.
Yeah. Oh.
Then the
Can you
Brans are
imagine
gonna be
that?
like, oh, yes.
That would be bananas.
Yeah, well, I mean, we had Feldkamp by major. We were wrong on that. Gabe Arnold takes the win. And then this is where it really came down to the match. 197, Zach Leisure versus Julian Broderson.
This was a rare occasion where Iowa out-wrestled Iowa State.
At the perfect timing.
Yeah. Iowa State looked like doo-doo.
Yeah, this is not their match.
Your guy, Mike. You picked Broderson.
Yeah, this is your Cactus All-Star.
Yes. Yes, I know. I picked him to be a Cactus All-Star because not every guy could be the highest seeded guy. And
you picked him over Glacier, too.
Yeah, but Glacier's ranked higher, so him being lower enables me to pick other higher guys on the All-Star team. So,
but you picked him over Glacier in this
match.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Because I thought he was going to beat Glacier. Instead, he wrestled like crap and had no defense. His defense was, let me turn and lean away and disengage until he takes me down. Like, that was very disappointing to see.
Yeah, I wonder if it's just this guy's a 74, 85 4-pounder, and Iowa State just doesn't have any other options at this weight class.
Could be.
And this guy's like, yeah, I got the starting nod here at 97.
Well, that was a guts, like, that was, well, in Tom Brand's words, gutsy. Yeah. He said it like 5 times, I guess.
Oh, yeah, that's right. In the post-match
interview. I mean, he was a senior guy, veteran on the team, and that was the match. I mean, if Iowa wins that, they win the match, and he did. So
even in the third period, Broderson had no urgency. He's like, "Oh, I'm losing. Should I, attack like most people do?" No, I'm going to wrestle the exact same way as if I'm ahead 7-3.
Yeah, because Glacier got escaped in the third, 10 seconds in, and then neither guy really had a significant shot after that. They're just like, Glacier's like, well, I'm up, and Broderson's like, yeah, you are.
Yeah, you are. Let's keep this going. This is fun. I'm gonna lose at home in front of 15,000 people, and I'm gonna cost the
Sold out.
team.
Sold out crowd.
Ah,
By the way, like there needs to be more like broadcast
Yeah.
of wrestling matches on ESPN and just major networks in
well,
general.
this was the first one ever by ESPN.
There
so.
needs to be more. I can't wait to see what the ratings look like for this, and especially like it was Sunday. Like this is a football day, and
Yeah.
you're competing against Fox and
A lot of football
CBS
games,
and football, and ESPN prime time. Like during football games, they do this wrestling match. And if you're a casual person who knows nothing about wrestling, I think it's an exciting duel to tune
Yeah.
into.
Really great.
So hopefully we can see more love for wrestling on TV. But to round up the duel, 285 younger, Bastida, Majors,
I love the before the match
Bradley Hill.
how the announcers were saying, yeah, he scored 64 points in his first 3 matches, and I'm like, he's what? He's averaging over 20 points a match. Like what? And then he almost scored 20 points this match.
Yeah, he looked good.
Won
I mean,
17-6. Like it was he put a clinic on basically.
I am a little worried about him against some of the bigger heavyweights because he's very nimble and he shoots under guys. I don't know if he'll score against bigger guys like
Like Colton Schultz.
well,
he's
maybe
heavy.
Colton Schultz is, I don't know, but
I mean, if he gets in on the sweep single that he was getting in on, I don't think Colton Schultz could stop it.
yeah.
Not fast.
Especially because Colton Schultz would just try to like put his weight on and be like, yeah, I'm heavy, I'm gonna stop it. But
Yeah. So I mean, we were right on the button with that one with Bastida Major, and that's
yeah, no, that I mean, Bastida looked real good there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Definitely look good.
he even had that one wild wild attack that he took that ended up in a scramble, then into a re-attack, and then he took him down off the re-attack. It was, I think, one of the last takedowns he got. It was nimble was a good way to describe it.
So Iowa takes the match 18-14. I thought it was funny when Jordan Burroughs was like, you're surprised, like with Iowa clinching right here. Why not just give up the forfeit? And the other commentators are like, well, JB, like we're on national television, like you can't do that.
Yeah, I was like, Jordan, like, why are you saying this? Oh yeah, let's just forfeit the last weight. Who cares now? Like, come on.
Yeah.
We're here to wrestle. Let's wrestle. Not like, we got this in the bag. I'm gonna forfeit now.
Classic Nebraska guys.
So I put a post waiting for some more comments, but wanted to give a shout out. I said, what match surprised you the most in tonight's duel? Travis M, regular commenter on the channel, shouting him out. Arnold pretty much dominating Feldkamp. That got a couple likes. I would probably agree. That's probably the biggest surprise of the night. Maybe Real Woods being taken to overtime.
Yeah, Ekam and Diaz could be what's it called?
And then Craig D said Gabe or Evan Frost, which I was surprised by Evan Frost as well. Pretty much dominating Brody Tesky. So
I was surprised negatively by Real Woods. Like I said, I didn't. I really thought he was going to like major or attack Echemendia. I was like, oh, this is a bonus point match all day.
I agree. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't sure on the tech, but I wasn't going to be surprised if there was a tech.
I was super expecting
thinking overtime.
Yeah, I thought he was like, hey, at least a major. Like I was thinking like 10 to 11, maybe 12-point range, pretty confidently.
Yeah, for sure.
And
go ahead.
We also did a poll who's winning the duel. 83 votes, 61% said Iowa State, and 39% said Iowa. And then Donnie Two Shoes commented, "Ha! Everyone was wrong. Go Hawks." And then Michael Lawn 2595 said, "I think it'll be close-ish, but I see Iowa State getting the win here."
I know that guy.
Yeah.
And it was close-ish, but Iowa State didn't get the win.
Now I don't know which video this recent comment on, but we wanted to give a shout out to Quentin Kelly, who commented on one of our videos. Absolutely love these vids. It single-handedly got me back into following college wrestling this year. So we're happy that we got you back into the swing of things. We love it. We're glad that you love it and are now following closely. So shout out to you, man.
And in the spirit of shout outs, our 1,000th subscriber goes to Rick Penland. So thank you, Rick.
Way to go, Rick.
Yeah, good stuff all around. Anyway, well, thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe and tune into our next videos.
Thanks for watching. We are Cactus Wrestling, and we'll see you next time on our next video.